Hello, Virgo. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Morgan Greer Tarot, old deck I've had for a long time. And the supportive oracle cards, You Are Clairvoyant, oracle cards by Belinda Grace, illustration by Elaine Marzin. Okay, that way if you want to find any of those creators, there's the information to search them down and find either those decks or maybe they have some other stuff. Some of these people have a few decks when I use them, I noticed. So if you like the imagery, you might want to search that out. Anything else? Virgo. We want to stop with those, okay? The oracle cards are typically very positive, typically, I'm noticing. But it doesn't mean you're going to get a candy-coated reading, just to be fair. I don't know why I want to put that out, just because the clairvoyant cards here, they're great cards. They're more in a positive spin, which I like. But still, even if, yeah, I'm going to go with the energy, just to be fair, just in case somebody's confused. I'm just putting that out there. I'm an intuitive reader. I just go with what it's matching, because you got to take in the cards around it too. The first thing I'm noticing is like feeling stuck and letting a situation just kind of do what it has to do. But this isn't seeming to really knock you down. This seems to be just like a strength of earth, and Virgo is definitely earth, and this is something that seems to be a strength for you. Like, I know people who are earth signs that don't really care to be patient, but seem to be able to do it fairly easily, if that makes sense. And I'm getting like, this isn't a situation you want to be patient in, but it's just kind of like, that's what's got to happen here. So you're trusting the situation. When you start off, it's like, it's kind of stuck. The situation is stuck, is what I'm getting. The Nine of Swords is telling me it's stuck, but it's like, there's a possibility for this to move forward, yet that possibility or that ability to move it forward doesn't really seem to be in your hands. You could put a lot of pressure on the situation, but it would take a lot of effort, and you're kind of like, is that really going to be worth it if I go crazy and really try to make this move forward to get 2 inches? Like, maybe I should just give it some time and let it move forward on its own when it's ready. And it's a situation that you actually do like. It's just kind of like it should be moving forward. It just feels like it's stuck. For the time being, when it starts off, when it's stuck, you're kind of like letting it be. That's the Six of Swords. It's kind of like, I'm just going to let it be. It's a minor arcana card, though, which is telling me in this situation, especially because it's connecting with the Hanged Man, and the Hanged Man is a temporary stop. It's just, you can't permanently live like that. Like, the Hanged Man can't survive their whole life that way. Like, so things have to change. So it's like you're walking away temporarily, but at some point it will move forward again, and you seem to be trusting that that'll happen on its own. The thing is, with the whole situation as a whole, it's not bad. It's just like on this delay. So you're okay with it. You'd rather it keep moving forward and then keep being progression. It's not really happening. It's kind of like, instead of going crazy trying to push it forward, I think I'm just going to accept it and just wait it out. Seems like the smart thing to do. Sometimes it's better to let things just kind of take their time anyway. Sometimes it just works out to the advantage. Now, the thing is with this situation, it will come out of this stasis, if you will. It will come out of it. But the thing is, it comes out with the Eight of Wands, which means when it comes out, it kind of reminds me of one of those little toys you get. I noticed them, like, traditionally, when I was a kid, it was around Easter. Like, now it would be more around Ostara. But, like, there was these little little poppy things. You'd squish them down, they'd have a spring in them, and then they just sit there and sit there and sit there, and all of a sudden they go bam, and they go flying off somewhere. But that's what this feels like to me. It's like, it's one of those, I don't know what you call them, little popper things. You push it down, it's on a spring, it's on like a little suction cup, and then all of a sudden, you're just waiting, nothing's happening, and all of a sudden it goes bam, and it goes flying across the room. That's how this was taking off. Like, nothing happening, here we go, full board. That's what I'm getting with the Eight of Wands. It's not bad, and I feel you kind of saw it coming, is what I'm getting. You're waiting and waiting, but you're seeing, like, people are starting to get ready to move forward. It's kind of like somebody, loading up the car to go on a trip. and you're not really sure when they're going to go, but it's like somebody this, well, I know I'm going to need extra wipes when we do go, so I'll just put them in there for when I'm ready. Oh, I know I'm going to need to make sure the car is taken care of, so I'm going to get it serviced just to make sure it's ready. And they're doing little things like that. Like, they're doing little things just to make sure it's ready. They're getting extra money together, and they're getting the clothes they want together, and they're packing them away in a suitcase, just so it's ready when they're ready to go. You're seeing the writing on the wall. You know it's coming. When I'm getting acceptance with the Wheel of Fortune, is like you kind of know it's coming. When it finally moves forward, you might not be like, oh, okay, it's 5:45 on Tuesday. Oh, that's right. I thought it was going to move forward. It's not going to be like that. It's going to be kind of like, well, within the next month, I think this is going to happen. And it could happen anywhere from 2 days to 2 weeks from that moment. That's what I'm saying. You know it's coming, exactly when, you just don't. But you're kind of ready for it. You're accepting it. You want it to move forward. You're rolling with it. Wheel of Fortune kind of turns in your favor, in the sense of like it could have lasted another stagnant period, but it did move forward. That's what I'm getting. In the environment, there's a lot going on. It's coming out of the stasis period. Like, as you're coming out, someone else is choosing to take it out of the stasis period. The Queen of Wands is working with you with the Magician card. Once they choose to pull it out of the stasis, that gives you the ability to move things around and change things, which is fine. It's great. But not until it starts moving. It literally has to be in motion again before you have the ability to start changing things and start putting in your input about, well, I think this should happen, I think that should happen, to plan this best, this is how we should do it. Until it's literally in motion, though, that energy is not really going to happen for you, but it is going to happen. Keep that in mind going forward. For those of you who are like connecting to this reading and you're not at that point yet, keep that in mind that your input will be needed. It's just not going to be viable till we're actually in motion. Because literally the next card on your side is messages, which I'm getting this goes in a lot of different ways. It can be face-to-face conversation, like you could give the message in person to somebody face-to-face. It doesn't have to mean like you're giving somebody a letter or you're texting somebody. It could be face-to-face message, like you don't have to do like that. You can do hand gesture messages, if you know what I mean. There's things like that. The message will get out there. I don't know why we're saying that, because when I'm saying hand gesture message, I'm thinking of one in particular, which is kind of funny. I don't know where that's coming from, but there you go. It might be because I also see somebody kind of smiling and laughing, and they're giving, a certain type of salute, if you know what I mean. So maybe if that resonates with you, that's kind of moving the situation forward, having a little bit of humor with it. Maybe things aren't working exactly how you'd want it to go, but it is starting to move forward, and your input is very important. How you feel is very important. When it starts moving, you need to explain what you're seeing and what you think should happen. Even if it's hard to get this other person to kind of go your way, if you at least put in your input, they should at least kind of fold your information in a little bit. The person, by the way, this is another reason I feel like you really want to give your input and what you're thinking about the situation. Whoever is deciding it needs to finally move forward and is pushing it forward, they're also looking to create a new sense of stability. This does feel new to me, especially with the Star card and the personal transformation. That makes sense why. They are going to definitely listen to what you're saying. You want to be as to the point and keep it simple. And you want to try to give the most important first. So if there's something you feel really needs to happen, you want to put that forward first and give like the direct reasons why. Keep it simple is what I'm also getting, because this energy might have a lot going on around them. So they might only... You might only get a limited time and not realize how limited that is. So it's kind of like you're talking to somebody, you're 5 minutes into conversation, and then they walk away because they have to do something else, and that's literally all you got. So if that's what's going to happen, you want to pack as much in that 5 minutes and only get the most important out in that first 5 minutes, because I'm actually getting that you might get cut off in this situation. Yeah, okay, I'm seeing it. You're going to get cut off. You're not going to be able to explain to the extent you want. And it's like there's a variable there. Like there's no like, oh, you're definitely going to get this amount of time. No, you're not going to see it coming. You're just going to get so much time, and all of a sudden it's going to like the door's going to shut, and they're going to walk away, and then it's kind of like, but I have more to explain. I have more to say. They've moved on. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. You want to make it worth it. But this is why, because what I'm seeing is like the Three of Swords with the Queen of Pentacles. The Three of Swords, and I'm getting like that cut off of communication. Like you only got to say so much, maybe like a third of what you needed to say, only like a third of it. And you're like, but there's so much more I had to say. There's so much more that goes in here. But you get cut off a third in, and then action starts to happen, and you're just like, oh my God, I needed to tell you more. I needed to give you more pieces of the puzzle. Hopefully this information's coming to you at the right time, where you're like, if you at least know that's going to happen, you can, in the first part, put as much. And I can't even guarantee you're going to get a third of it out. It could be like a fifth. You know what I'm saying? You could literally get 5 minutes, and that's all you get. And put as much in, get the most important out there that you need to happen, because it abruptly stops, and then this person just moves forward with what they've heard so far. They don't have the full story, which is uncomfortable for you, because you're like, but there was more. I needed to tell you more. Like, you only have, this isn't even half baked. This is basically, we got the batter in the pan, put it in the oven for 10 minutes, and there's no. It's frustrating for you, but I feel like if you at least know that, you can do something with it and make it worth your while. Because the more you can pack into that time, the better it's going to be for you. This is going to work out in a better way. You're going to get blessings and wisdom. I feel you trying to explain to this person more the stuff you need to tell them. I also feel like other people are going to be adding into the situation, kind of like, that's a good start, but you really need to consider this too. And I feel like you're going to have to explain to other people, like, I didn't get a chance to tell them that. They walked away and they wouldn't listen to me, so I couldn't tell them the full story. You're going to be fine. People are going to be like, well, yeah, I know. People understand you. People who know you know that you have a lot behind what you're thinking, and there's a lot to come out, and that, you need to be given that respect to really give out what you're talking about, to really explain what you're talking about, so you can give the base and the reasoning. So other people will be like, yeah, I know how that person is, and I know you didn't get a chance to explain everything. But they might also in turn explain to you, like, when I had the chance, I gave more information on that, and you might get more resolution with that. Like, you might have only got a third of it out, but somebody else had to fill in the other pieces. Maybe not exactly how you saw it or exactly the way you wanted it to happen, but you're going to realize, okay, more support was given later. This will keep going. Blessings will come out of this. It will go well. It's not going to be a perfect situation, but it's going to be a good situation. You got the High Priestess. This is a mix of the good and the bad. The High Priestess looks at things honestly and says, you know what? We got 15 people in this room. We can't pretend they're all going to just work together. There's going to be conflict. There's going to be, discord, but there's going to be a lot of good that works out here. There's going to be giving into some people and, making other people kind of hold to the grind. So it's like working with the total and be like, it's not going to be the easiest situation, but if we all work together and we all try, this can work out really good. And that's kind of the energy you get from the High Priestess. Like, we got to look at what we honestly have here. 15 different people, 15 different personalities. This can go well, but we're going to have to kind of bend and break a little bit here and there to make this work out. But if we do our best, this can be a great situation. And it's like taking those 15 people, understanding how they work together, realizing it's not the best combination, but if we work together and we try to bend and break where we have to, the total outcome can be worth it. And I feel like that's what's going to happen here. The total outcome will be worth it. It's not going to be squeaky clean. It's not going to be perfect. It's going to have some rough edges. But it's one of those things where, it's kind of like when, you have a 12-year-old that wants to make you a birthday cake, and it comes out a bit messed up. Like it's their first attempt, and, it's lopsided, and it's got some crumbles here, and, they tried to frost it too quick, so it's kind of ripped up here and there. It tastes good. But, it looks a little crazy. It's kind of like that. It's like, it's really good. You appreciate the effort. It's still a good cake. It doesn't look perfect, but it's worth the effort. And the sentiment behind it is what makes it really worth it. That's kind of how I feel this is turning out. And no offense to any 12-year-olds who are really good bakers, because I know there are some. But like the first attempt 12-year-old who just kind of like, they're trying to make things work. They're trying to make a surprise kind of happen, that type of thing. In case that matters. Anything else here? All right, I feel like it's good. I'm going to shut this down here. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.